All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're tearing down the glossy, big budget marketing of the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro to uncover the gritty, practical reality experienced by actual, real world buyers. We're looking at the raw data straight from the digital storefronts to see if these highly anticipated earbuds actually live up to their own massive, industry shaking hype. And stating the premium price tag instantly sets the stakes for our investigation. $239.99, practically $240. We really need to know if this hardware truly justifies that kind of investment. Because at this tier, you aren't just looking for a casual listening device, right? You're expecting absolute perfection. When you drop that much cash on a single audio accessory, you're paying for a seamless daily experience, long-term reliability, and honestly, the peace of mind that comes with flagship tech. Whether you're commuting on a packed train or pushing through a super intense workout, you want to know your gear is rock solid. The psychology of this premium price point means any minor flaw isn't just going to be a tiny annoyance, it's going to feel deeply magnified. So here's our teardown menu for today. We'll start by looking at the AI audio promise. Then we'll break down the specs and hardware, explore what buyers absolutely love, unpack the major pain points, and wrap it all up with the final value and verdict. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the AI audio promise, utopia or reality. Okay, we need to cut through the marketing jargon for a second to really understand what Galaxy AI is promising here, which is a hyper-personalized listening experience. Samsung claims these earbuds actively adjust to your environment using adaptive active noise cancellation and an adaptive equalizer. Essentially, that means the buds are constantly listening to the world around you, measuring the ambient noise, and microscopically tweaking the audio profile in real time so your music never loses its punch. But they take it a step further. They promise a real-time interpreter that translates foreign languages right into your ear. It's practically like you're living in a sci-fi movie. This is a massive, incredibly ambitious swing. They're trying to shift the device from just a passive speaker to an active, intelligent assistant. And this right here brilliantly illustrates the whiplash between Samsung's polished promise and the messy real world. The official marketing guarantees long-lasting comfort that was redesigned with the best sound in mind. But when we actually summarize over 6,000 buyer reviews, the reality is pretty stark. The Fit receives totally mixed feedback, with users outright reporting that the earbuds literally fall out of their ears. It's a pretty harsh contrast between the controlled environment of a testing lab and the unpredictable reality of, just walking down a sidewalk. Moving right along to Section 2, Specs and Hardware Explained. Let's look under the hood. When we put these models head-to-head, the hardware is undeniably premium. The Buds 3 Pro boast a two-way speaker setup, featuring a dedicated woofer for the lows and a tweeter for the highs, and they're powered independently by dual amplifiers. So what does that mean for you? It means the low bass frequencies and the crisp high notes aren't fighting for power from the exact same source. That is a massive leap over the single amplifier one-way speaker found in the budget-friendly Buds 3 FE. They also rock a stronger IP57 water and sweat resistance rating, meaning they can totally survive a quick dunk or a heavy rainstorm. On paper, the acoustic engineering here is absolutely top tier, explicitly designed to deliver incredibly rich, high-resolution 24-bit audio. All right, Section 3. Let's pivot to what buyers actually love most, the sonic highlights. Taking a macro-level look at the ratings, there is a massive positive lean here. We're seeing an impressive 71% of users granting a flawless 5-star rating. And when you add in the 4-star reviews, you have 80% of buyers walking away largely satisfied. This is a crucial insight for us. It tells us that despite how polarizing certain physical aspects of the product might be, when the core technology works for someone, it works exceptionally well. 8 out of 10 buyers feel their money was absolutely well spent. That's a pretty formidable baseline for any flagship device. And digging into the specific data points, we can see exactly why that sentiment is so high. Out of 810 reviews that specifically mention sound quality, an overwhelming 669 praise it, compared to just 141 negatives. The acoustic engineering is undeniably hitting the mark for the vast majority of listeners. Samsung clearly invested heavily in those audio drivers and the AI-driven adaptive tuning. The data proves that for pure listening pleasure, whether you're blocking out a crowded cafe or just chilling at home, these earbuds are an absolute triumph. The crucial point for audiophiles is super clear in reviews like this one from Michael, who calls out the perfect clarity and good bass response. He even specifically tested them with Daft Punk's Get Lucky. Now, a track like that is famous for its heavily layered, nuanced production. Delivering that level of acoustic separation requires serious hardware under the hood, and the Buds 3 Pro are absolutely delivering an incredible, immersive soundstage. Users are thrilled by the active noise cancellation too, describing it as highly impactful for instantly drowning out noisy environments so they can just get lost in the details of the music. But to give you that whiplash contrast I mentioned earlier, right alongside that glowing acoustic praise, we have terrifying buyer experiences, like this one. A reviewer named Kirik reports their left earbud slipped out while crossing a busy highway at night. Just imagine that for a second, dropping $240 onto a dark highway. They literally had to use a smartwatch flashlight to frantically search the asphalt before the light turned green. It perfectly transitions us from the brilliant highs of audio fidelity to the literal physical lows of the user experience. Which brings us right into Section 4. The major pain points. Slipping up. You literally cannot ignore this number. 337. That represents the specific amount of negative mentions regarding the fit in the customer review data out of 591 total mentions on that exact topic. That means more than half the people talking about the fit are actively complaining about it. This ratio is staggering for a premium product. It makes physical ergonomics the single most polarizing aspect of this hardware, single-handedly dragging down what is otherwise a stellar acoustic device. And it's not just about them falling out during a brisk walk or a workout. An aggregation of hardware grievances paints a rather frustrating picture. Users are reporting that the earbud material itself and even the charging case are incredibly slippery to the touch. Worse, the case is designed with a rounded bottom. Think about that for a second. It won't even sit flat on a desk when opened, meaning you need two hands just to securely dock the earbuds without the whole case rolling away. Reviewers are also noting highly concerning reliability issues, with multiple reports of the case simply dying and refusing to charge after just a few months of normal use. And to add a final layer of insult, if your slippery earbud does fall out, the Find My ring volume is reportedly much lower than previous generations, making it incredibly hard to actually locate. Let's wrap this up with Section 5, Value and Final Verdict, the bottom line. It's absolutely vital to note that unlocking the true value of these earbuds requires you to be completely locked into the Samsung device ecosystem. The ultra-high quality audio, the adaptive hearing tests, those sci-fi AI translations we talked about, they all require a modern Samsung phone and the proprietary wearables app. This is a fascinating look at how major tech giants use premium accessories as walled gardens, carefully designed to keep you buying their specific hardware. If you're an Apple user or honestly even using a different Android brand, you are going to be severely limited by basic codec support. Essentially, you're paying full price for a fraction of the features, which dramatically shifts the entire value proposition. Ultimately, this explainer reveals what is kind of a tale of two products. On one hand, you have a phenomenal piece of audio engineering capable of adapting to your exact hearing profile and delivering a rich, concert-like soundstage. But on the other hand, that absolute brilliance is somewhat betrayed by its own physical ergonomics. A slippery design that struggles to confidently stay in the ear, paired with frustrating battery and case reliability issues over time. It's a massive clash between acoustic perfection and practical design. So, before you drop the cash, you've got to ask yourself, are those spectacular AI-enhanced sonic highs really worth the constant anxiety of a frustrating fit? Only you and your unique ear shape can decide that. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep questioning the hype.